because that was the best way I could think of that a pathologist would end up as a mercenary too. And I think that
Yeah.
fits well. So she might have worked with any of you in the past.
I would say I kind of felt like Jane was more like the merc that was always kind of worked on the ship. He was the regular.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Long timer.
yeah, maybe pilot of the ship. I don't know if we have a pilot or not, or if we need one.
You might, but let's.
Why I made sure I went with some piloting skills so that in case.
Oh my God!
Whatever.
How did you get so many skills, Bobby?
So
Bobby.
I was looking at it and there was, I guess, I don't know. I didn't look at the. Did I? There was a form fillable character sheet, and when I was filling it out, and that was one of the things it said was you picked your skills. Where is it here? I'll send it.
Well,
Come on, Tamika.
I can't say
That's
that.
it, like here. I'll show you.
That's cool. I was just gonna say though that for at least the reference sheet that we're using. Oh, I clicked the wrong thing. Why did I close any of
Industrial
those?
equipment 0 and
For
1 bonus
marine,
skill.
you should
Okay.
get. For skills, you should get. Oh,
If for Teamster.
Oh, for Teamster, right? You're not a marine. You're a Teamster.
That's the old character sheet.
That must be the problem. Okay. I was gonna say, looking at the one in the, I didn't look at the one in the PDF.
No worries.
For that part, like I went over everything else. I get 1 and 1 expert.
Yeah, it's not. And plus, the things are kind of opaque, anyways. Even if you got it, you could have come to. I've come to all kinds of conclusions for reading these decorations. All right.
Some of us thought we had very expensive pets.
What happened?
So we can't afford them.
Oh, and in case anybody else is eager to ever get a pet, just know that they are brutal. Like there's a whole chart for how you react when
They
they're
die.
hurt or get destroyed or killed or.
Nice.
Oh no.
Nice.
So I guess I'm gonna ask you guys ultimately. Your sheet looks fine, Jane. If you just why can't I interact with the things? Oh, there we go. Yeah, perfect.
I was just making a change, so
one of these you should have one expert, right? Or just trained.
that's. Yeah, I gotta bump one of them up. I'm not sure which one. I'll bump up probably piloting.
Well, it should
probably would make. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. I just think the chart kind of just tells you what column it comes out of as all.
I think we need a pilot.
No.
Right. That was kind of my thinking, is that we would probably need one.
Piloting is an expert skill, so it is 15. So it is definitely
okay.
Yeah, I would think that would come in very handy.
And 0G is a normal train skill, and
yeah, I think you get 0G
and 0G and industrial equipment,
and you get
perfect.
Because that's why I got rid of 2 of mine to take field medicine. I think that would be the better skill to have.
So
those are all min-maxing.
So if you're reading the book, sorry, go ahead. If you're reading the book and it says plus wound DMG, what that really means is, see, it says wounds here on your sheet. I believe it is your current wounds. Correct me if I'm wrong. And that is your basically bonus damage. It's like your it's a +2 sword. Like, so it'll say 1d5, which is 1d10 rounded down, I learned. So 1d10 rounded down plus whatever your current wounds number is. So it's like a bonus. So you both want wounds and don't want wounds.
Oh, may I interject?
Sure.
I think it's the 2 or 3, that number, the wounds that you start with. They get added to the damage of the
So
weapon.
just the maximum wounds
Just-
then?
No, it's if if like a Marine starts with 3 wounds, right?
Mhm.
Or the capacity to have 3 wounds. If I punch somebody, then I do 3 damage. If a scientist does it with 2 wounds, they do 2 damage. On a
But
punch.
as you get wounded, doesn't it go down because you're
I
getting
don't.
weaker?
What I heard when I was listening to the actual play where they did it, it did not seem to change. It's just a number that gets grabbed and used. I mean, if it would change, it'd go down to 2 and then 1 for a Marine, I guess.
Because don't we start with? Oh, it's okay.
But that's what I seem to interpret from the actual
It's
play.
okay. Well then, so it's difficult for me to because wounds are represented a little differently on this sheet versus the actual character sheet.
Yes.
I guess I'm just a little confused on like. So in my head, wounds. Because don't you start with 2 wounds? Most of you start with at least 2 wounds, don't you?
Yeah, 2 or 3.
Androids and Marines start with 3.
Yeah, and you can slowly lose those wounds as you fill up your damage meters, I thought. So
Yeah, like each wound has hit points of its own.
Mm-hmm.
and then as you fill that, you lose a maximum wound or lose a current wound?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
And so
And
that
roll on the wound table.
yeah, and then you would effectively have a lower wound bonus because you have, been so damaged or depleted or however you want to look at it. That was my interpretation, but
I guess in looking at the Foundry character sheets, I thought that the wound damage was the maximum number.
no,
That's what
maximum
it
is just
seemed
kind of a carryover thing because you can increase it with certain wound table things, I'm pretty sure.
So yeah, my maximum is 19. So
Oh no, are you looking at health or wounds?
health. So my maximum is 19. So for each of my wounds, I can take 19 damage. If I were to take 20 damage, I would lose a wound and be at 18 out of 19 for my next wound.
Oh, okay.
I thought we only had 2 or 3 wounds.
Yeah, I only have 2.
Yeah.
I'm
So
So
having-
she can take.
It's like a bank
Yeah.
of
She can
health.
take-
Yeah. Sorry, go
Yeah.
on, Bobby.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if you look on
Yeah,
a printable
38
character
damage.
sheet. Oh, I'm sorry, Bobby. We need to talk about.
I was just saying she can take 38 damage.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Basically,
but
19 19 twice.
every third of that there's a wound at the end of it.
Every time I take 19 damage, there's a wound.
There's a wound.
So there's like a
You don't have-
mechanic. Yeah.
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 That's how I was looking. But
Right.
I'm gonna stop
'Cause-
talking now because I'll keep talking.
It's
No,
okay.
it's input. Information. Because if you print out the character sheet,
Yeah,
And
I
your
like that
character
little
sheet,
bubble chart.
bubble chart, yeah, it kind of makes it a little easier for Nimrods like me to figure.
Yeah.
Fill in the bubbles.
Because it actually says health per wound.
So you just circle them
Okay.
like a Scantron.
Yep.
Yeah.
The answer
Think
is
of it
D.
as a progress bar to my death.
And once you fill
Yeah.
it, you
Loading.
once you fill it effectively on the actual print sheet, you would cross out that wound, so you no longer have that wound. And
Yes.
I will roll on the wounds table, which are very, very bad. Or I don't roll.
Which
I
are
think
lovely.
we get to roll our
Oh.
own pain.
Even
think.
more
Do we?
perfecter.
Yeah,
think
because I
so.
get like advantage on it
There you go.
for the panic, I should say.
Sweet.
This is gonna be fun.
Aside from that,
dying with
try
all of
to
Oh,
try
yeah.
to close your eyes for a half second. Imagine the place you're supposed to be and how your character would interact. If you did take the time to watch Alien or Aliens over the weekend or the past week, um, I believe the idea for Mothership is very much like in Aliens when, they are going through all the tunnels and then they get this message and they're like, you can't shoot bullets anymore because if you shoot bullets, their acid blood is going to go through the heat dissipators and everything's going to explode. And so they take away all their, guns and just everything goes to shit. So everybody starts to panic and go crazy in that moment. And frenetic fun is like the fun. Not for them in real life. If that was real life, it would be horrifying and terrible. But
We like horrifying.
yeah.
Yeah.
I look forward to dying with all of you.
Right?
Frost says
Sure.
coldly.
Yes.
Do you guys so actually no, let me start from the beginning. Let's go to Bloom. As you accept this offer, all of you are on a let me get the right name before I talk out my bottom. On a Dyson, I believe the pronunciation is phytology. Supply. Kind of like I want to say space station, but that's giving it far more. It's like a manned buoy in space that is used for supply relay and data relay for like deep fringe, rim, as they say, colony ships and resources. Dyson Photology is a huge multi-world corporation. They're mainly medical care and beauty supply stuff. But one of their stations is actually your guys' target, and I will give you your actual orders, I guess. I don't know if you can see on the screen. I will uncover it. This is all provided to you. Your client has previously tried to penetrate the Dyson Pathology Research Outpost to get, industrial espionage, corporate espionage information about projects they've been working on, a project called Bloom. You are contracted to retrieve the archived research files from data storage and maintenance room 9. You're, this is your itinerary of things that you need to accomplish or what happens if you don't. You may just notice that 800 C creds is a lot. So they mean business. It's clear that they can, pay what they're saying and don't fuck around. They also provide you with some other assets to get there. And so as part of this, you guys, and I'm just kind of jump starting, you guys effectively have snuck your way onto a resupply, like kind of an unmanned resupply vessel going to this research facility. It's in this location called Murindal, and have located the edge of explored space. When you
I
look it
find
up, go ahead.
No, go ahead. I'm just being silly.
And public record shows very little. It basically has a serial number when it was first scanned by exploratory probes, it was marked uninhabited and unexplored, and uh, if you've ever read Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, it's probably marked mostly harmless.
Mostly.
And moved on.
I take comfort.
Now, Frost. So as part of this, you guys, you hijack this, this resupply vessel, and you snuck on some cryo sleep beds if you want. I guess it would be like a 3-week. It'd be about 3-week voyage. Would you think you guys would bother cryo sleeping for 3 weeks, or would you just put up with each other for 3 weeks?
I think I'm too poor to cryo sleep like that.
Fair enough.
You have to pay to cryo sleep?
I don't know.
I don't think I have such a thing on my. I mean, I guess it depends on our ship, but I mean, we sound poor to me, so I don't imagine we have cryo sleep in
Well,
my
there are.
head. I don't know.
Cryo beds.
I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There are beds on the resupply vessel for when they have to transfer
okay.
crew back and forth.
I believe the correct terminology is cryofuton.
Futon.
Okay.
In my experience.
That makes sense. So the resupply vessel has them.
In my head, Frost just logged like a positive response to joke number 335.
Yes, that's part of.
And its
that's
AI
part of
algorithm just ticked it up in the.
Yes, it just went
So-
into a file. I am impressed with myself at this moment.
Yes, Doctor.
So just to clarify, we snuck onto this resupply vessel and we spent a few weeks like hiding?
It's unmanned. So
It's
Oh, it's
unmanned.
unmanned. So okay,
Yeah.
I didn't catch that. Perfect.
So as long as you don't fuck with the dials
person.
and stuff, it'll take you to where it's headed.
Awesome. Okay.
Yeah, Jane probably wouldn't sleep.
Fair
Wouldn't
enough.
cryo sleep.
Yeah, Sig would just sit there. He did a lot of waiting in the military.
Fair enough. So you do see as you approach. So 3 weeks pass. I mean, it's just a normal chill event, I guess. But you do notice that the onboard computer to the automated supply vessel has tried to contact the station it's scheduled to dock with multiple times and has gotten no response. It gets like a ping pong, but it gets no verification and other pertinent security things that it exchanges are not being heralded or they're just being completely ignored. So you see this
Connection
warning,
is fine, but
right? So you see this kind of warning light going off. It's just orange. It's not red yet. But you guys are now. Sorry, go ahead. You looked at me and am I what? Yes. Thank you for asking. So as you guys approach, it starts to flash red, and then because it has not gotten authorization, it just kind of you hear the jets go and just stops, and you're like 300 meters away from this location called Delang Station. It is this small space station outpost, and as you peek out the window, let's just pretend that an unmanned thing would have windows. As you peek out the windows, you see this massive planet covered in ice, in thick glacial ice. It gives off this kind of almost soft, icy blue glow. But the station that you see that you're now in synchronous orbit of, that you're now kind of locked in your two docking bays staring at one another. But you come to a halt as you guys kind of peer out of your eye, Frost, you see this space suit that seems to be umbilical to the station, just kind of wildly floating, and it's just kind of floating dead and half in the way of the docking ring. And it seems unambulating. It just seems to be kind of floating there. Umbilical to just a standard umbilical. I don't mean to imply that it's some kind of fleshy umbilical. I realize the context that I'm speaking of now.
Yes.
But just a normal, tethering umbilical, like a air hose type umbilical to the station itself.
That is odd.
Um,
I informed the crew of this abnormality.
It's definitely not moving.
yeah, like the arms aren't. It's like in a stationary position, like, but you can't really see in because of the direct,
Yeah.
But yeah, no. Nobody's like struggling or anything like that in the suit. No.
Yep.
I mean,
Okay.
in theory, somebody could be asleep or something, but
Can we fly the ship closer?
sure.
Yeah. Jane will go to the cockpit and see about taking manual control.
Yeah, I don't want to walk.
Let me know if
Yeah.
I have the lighting configured so that no, I don't have it configured properly.
I just see Frost. Oh, there we go.
Now this is all part of the stuff you got from your contact. They gave you maps. Like it says it in the other. I believe you should be able to go to back to background. Apparently, is what I named it. But they gave you blueprint maps of the Delang Station, Joplin Ake, and Choi Labs. These are all the main facilities there on Mirandel, the planet. What they call it. It's RR017-00-I, if you care that much. You want to pilot it closer, is what I'm hearing?
I want to take control and work on moving closer, getting closer without like hitting anything.
And you have
Preferably.
piloting, go ahead and try and do exactly that. Roll piloting, and I believe that would be what? Intellect?
It came up as strength. Is that I'm assuming is just defaults to strength?
Yeah, it defaults them all to strength.
Okay.
It hasn't got them perfectly mapped for whatever reason. Excuse me. Success.
All right.
So
am I looking for the what am I looking for to figure out? Okay, you set a target.
Well, you set the target actually.
Like,
Because you have the plus
okay,
15.
that's what I rolled.
Yep. So you want to roll under. It's a
Okay.
roll under. It's a D1. Sorry, I probably should have explained this. If you, it is a roll, D100 roll under. So all your targets, you did a intellect, which would be 31 plus 5, so 36 plus 15, to 51, which is great. That better than 50% chance. You rolled a 40. Awesome. So you rolled under. So you succeed.
Okay.
The other thing to note is that if you roll doubles of anything, it means, so if you roll doubles over, it means you crit. If you roll doubles under, it means you crit. Failed. So
Okay.
So doubles in a success is a double success, and doubles in a failure is a double failure.
Okay, so you said it. Okay, so a success is always under the target.
Correct.
Okay. Okay.
Right.
Cool.
That's for panic.
Except for panic is
Did
the
you say
only
except for panic?
and that will be a
That's
D20,
awesome.
which is a completely different.
Much different scale.
Yeah, yeah. So when you pull
That's
out
awesome.
the
Make
D20, you know what
the
you're.
the nerve-wracking one the exact opposite. I like it.
I am looking forward
So
to Titanic Panic.
while he's
Yes,
kind of
Doctor.
navigating, I think I would go over to Frost, and I think we had decided that we've worked together some in the past, so I would know that you have the field medicine stuff. Anyway, we can kind of prep for the idea that it looks like there may be a need for medics ahead.
Yes, I concur. Frost is going to try to get into the comms.
Okay.
It seems that there's too much dead air. I will try to see if I can hear anything on the comms. I think there would be chatter if something like this anomaly is transpiring. So that's what Ash is going to do. I guess it would be computers.
Sure. Ash is just trying to hack into their system or something, or what do you
Trying to
mean
open up
by?
comms to see to link into. I'm sure this has. Well, it's unmanned. Would it have comms?
The Lang station would have comms. It had like I mentioned, the ship itself, your supply ship, has attempted to make contact multiple times. That's actually why you stopped docking altogether, is because it wasn't able to make its final handshake and say, "Hey, everything's good." The guy on the other end says, "Yes, go ahead and dock," but it wasn't able to make that final handshake, and so it just stopped before final docking procedures occurred.
Right. So I believe Frost is thinking if he could somehow hack into the internal comms to see if there's internal chatter, if people are holed up, if there's any inter station communications. Like if somebody has a handheld communication device, maybe he can see if he can pinpoint that type of frequency, see if they're talking amongst themselves. Like, the station's been taken over. I'm in the janitor's closet.
Sure.
That,
Um,
so I'm.
You have computers or hacking or anything like that?
I have computers, but I do not have hacking.
Okay. Go and go ahead and try and roll your computers but yeah, Frost is using all of their wits to
Working.
So yeah, Frost, as you you kind of poke around and you're able to see that you're able to get into some low level logs, and you see that the only logs they mention are that 14 days ago, they tried to communicate back to what Python. What was the name of the company? Dyson Pathology or Phytology. They tried to communicate back that they had found a mole attempting to smuggle out samples. And then 10 days ago, there was a mention of an outbreak and containment measures put into place. And then there have been no more attempts at communication since then. As this happens, you hear this ka-chunk as as Jane finalizes the docking procedure. You hear the clanking and machinations of the two airlocks docking rings coming together, and you hear the distinct hiss of both of their atmospheres mixing, bringing the two vessels together.
Would there be a way to prevent that from happening? before we actually
Yeah,
connect?
because
Sure.
Frost would say, pertinent piece of information to my crew. It seems to be that there has been containment procedures activated. We should act accordingly.
Don't dock it.
Sure.
Yeah, Jane probably wouldn't have actually docked until we were like more certain. He wanted to get
Sure.
close to it to see what was going on, but yeah, he would have held off until everybody was ready to actually make the seal. Because that
Into
is
my hazard suit.
That is wise, Doctor.
Into my advanced battle arm.
Does Jane Cobb possess any type of emergency suit? I think it would be most appropriate if you have one to utilize it. I know I'm stating the obvious. Please
Nope.
forgive me.
I'm wearing just heavy duty work clothes. That's about it. That's all I got.
As you come,
And I imagine his pith helmet is the helmet that the knit cap that Jane wears with the poof ball.
I love it.
Like as his trinket.
Your hat is very cunning.
Thanks. It distracts.
It certainly does.
Jane, while you're talking to Frost, you see the body that was floating in space. It clanks against the side of the window, and inside you see what looks like a half-consumed face that is in a advanced state of decay, and these kind of fungal like tendrils feather out kind of from the face wound all into the back of the mask, and inside all you see are these little shiny silvery filaments that look like tiny little white flowers.
As soon as he sees that, he moves the ship away so that the thing can't touch the ship. He's
I
instantly
think that's
paranoid about that because
what does this say?
That is quite extraordinary and most beautiful.
I mean, is that a
and
fear?
pointed out to
Are
everybody.
you? Is Jane afraid? Is this a sanity check?
I would say it is more of a concern for I guess like yeah.
Oh my.
He sees that and that would probably be a more
I
fearful
believe this is
get
not the
back
time
than
for
anything. So
this is not the time for thrilling heroics, Jane.
It's not the
do
end of the
I
world.
so do I
Just
roll something?
roll fear.
Now before I do that, the one thing that it had on the sheet was +10. I get +10 to saves. I wasn't sure if that was
I'm pretty sure you get that across the board. So you're gonna look at 32, 30, and 34 for your. So I think you can for your sanity.
that would be for my sanity, fear, and body.
Yeah, those are your saves.
Okay.
The others
That's
are your
okay.
stats.
I wasn't sure. I didn't
No,
add
I
it
know
to it.
it's it's opaque.
Yeah, it was one of those. I assume that's it, but I was like, I'll hold
Yeah.
off. I'd rather have the numbers be low than
Yeah,
incorrectly high.
yeah, kind of in the same vein. For scientists, it said I got 10 intellect and +5 to 1 stat, and I assumed that meant I put it in the little bubble next to the stat.
Yeah, that's where I put my
You are our android now, I'm afraid.
You're
Or at
literally
least I hear
breaking
you
up like
robot-y.
you've just failed a fear check and now you're in the K-hole. Somebody turned on the microwave.
Yeah, I put
He did put it on the microwave.
Am I still?
Little.
Coming back.
You're coming back. So
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, go. Yeah.
But yeah, for the stats, I put them in the all fives as well. Oh wow, that's not good.
Oh my. I believe I have to take the comms from Jane. He seems to be malfunctioning.
So go ahead and take a stress. You just add a stress.
I'm at 2. I go up to 3.
Yep. How does this? Is this like a knee jerk thing? Is Jane like just yanking on the stick, like fuck, and kind of?
That appears to be a Jane Cobb
Not
move,
so much just like it's not like a yank on the stick, but it is kind of a jerky probably motion, but it's not a out of control yank. It's
Startled.
that I gotta yeah, more of a startled jerk, like
Yeah.
maybe you're driving down the road and you hit the strip on the side of the road because you're a little tired and that you're back into the center and like, okay, I'm good to go, kind of thing.
Okay. No,
Um,
absolutely. So this like little shudder kind of crawls up Jane's spine as you it, like wiggles the stick. You like the whole ship like shimmies, and you all kind of feel Jane's fear transferred through the body of the ship as he, you know, his own shiver moves through the ship. And it clanks again as you do it, and as you kind of right yourself to get back in line with the docking. It clanks right against that body hovering in that suit, and it sends it kind of whipping around on the station a bit. So it's now almost flipping or whipping around wildly. And about 4 seconds later, you hear it clang as it swings around and kind of hits the bottom of your ship.
Oh shit!
Right there, Jane.
yeah, that was did you guys see that?
Did you guys see that?
The things coming out, the threads coming out.
I've been collecting medical supplies. Did I see it? Am I scared too?
Well, I mean, in my head, he was talking to Frost, and Frost was on the other side of the window, and it kind of just banged against the window behind Frost's head. So probably not. You heard the clank. I mean, you definitely heard the clank as it both hit the first time, the shimmy, and then when it flung back in.
What was that sound?
That body bumping the window as I was talking to Frost, and
body in there.
In tethered to the one floating right there, and he points. He just kind of is pointing at it, and like, and he describes the veiny look, the silver threads, like.
But I must remark on the crystalline floral type patterns on the deceased face. It was actually quite beautiful, Private Sig Ashburn.
Did a crystal face?
Yes.
Like crystals where his face was?
Partially.
Now, a lot of different fungal infections could explain symptoms like that.
This is true, Dr. Rebecca.
That's a mushroom,
I call you
right?
Rebecca. Dr. Berry.
That's correct. Touch nothing.
Indeed.
Oh shit! I think I'm going to get my suit on.
Yes, if you have a vac suit, I would highly encourage it. Fungal infections typically do include spores, so it's best if you have a filtration. She says from within.
Jane just like looks at you and just goes, "I'm gonna stay here."
That would
I'll
be
keep
wise,
the ship separately docked, and but no, he will definitely make it so that the airlock doesn't mix the ship air and the docking station air.
Ah,
I have a camera. You can watch through my feed if you want.
I think I could tie into that with my suit.
Fantastic. I have a small comms unit, short range as well.
please stand by while I get my collections kit. Thank you. And Frost just gets up and walks. Please stand by. 1 minute. Comes back to Dr. Burton. I have my sample collection kit, Dr. Burton. I am ready.
So
I'm
you all
carrying my
donned
heavy
vac
machine
suits,
gun.
and Jane begins the final docking procedures.
Yeah, and Sig and I think, sync up on channels, and I send my feed to HQ, which I guess is this supply area or section or ship words.
Birds. You'll get them one day. Started with
Uh-uh.
that English degree, you'll make
Oh,
it.
Yeah.
if I may,
Go for it.
I know when excuse me, when I rolled for Frost's loadout, I did have a hazard suit, but I swapped it out for because Frost is synthetic. He doesn't need a vac suit.
Mm-hmm.
Or so we were debating whether do I keep that like as an extra one, or we just swapped it out. Like, because if I'm allowed to keep that, then I will let Jane utilize it. If not,
Sure. If you have an extra vac suit. If Jane doesn't sound like Jane wants to use it, but if Jane would use it, he's more than welcome to. I don't mind that being a thing.
okay.
Jane would not argue.
Okay. No, I would not argue.
Sorry, the cat jumped on Grace.
Oh, Jane Cobb.
Monster mind.
Boots, come on, dude. These are my notes. Go away.
There is an extra vac suit. You may utilize it, sir.
Thank you.
Cats.
Yeah, you don't want a crystal face.
You don't want a crystal face. Yeah, exactly.
I concur
And
with
what
Private Sig
what
Ashburn.
is it a vac suit or is it a
It's a hazardous suit.
Is a hazardous suit? Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You have short
You're
range
most
comms too.
Yes, you do.
I shared mine in chat because it has the description on it.
So yeah, you guys dock. I mean, I can make there be an airlock thing, so you don't have to actually mix air if that's what you want to do.
Yeah, I would definitely not want to mix with this, especially after seeing that.
Absolutely. So yeah, you guys go ahead and dock, and yeah, you all four of you, I guess. Frost would not be donning a vac suit. So we got two vac suits, a haz suit, and an android, right?
I think
that is correct, Warden Michael.
2 hazard suits. Anyway.
And I have advanced battle trap.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so we have a vac suit, an advanced battle dress, and a haz suit.
No, we have 2 hazard suits and an advanced dress.
Oh, no, okay.
And an android.
You guys kept saying vac suits.
I know.
The algorithm is faulty. We will self-correct.
Okay, yeah. No, you guys enter the airlock. You're able to kind of manually dislodge it and open the doors. Kind of quarter gravity. You would guess. You guys find yourself in this like kind of empty, for lack of a better description, like airport. There's a large conveyor belt. where it processes incoming packages and personnel, or rather personal items. And there is a door. I guess I should just move you guys to the laying station. You can see it. So yeah, this is the, whoops, let's not do that. This is the conveyor belt. This is the room. You guys dock through this. This is your, like, you guys are all in here. Oh, I can't.
Is Brian's token the only one on there?
Yeah, mine is
Oh,
now
I
too.
see Jane.
Okay. I don't know where they were ended up.
Right by the ship dock.
Yeah, now I do. Now I didn't know where before.
I'm so sorry, guys. I
Can
need to use the
I
restroom. I will be
see-
right back. Can you see what?
Yeah, can I wear heavy duty work clothes and my hazard suit? Excuse me, hazard suit.
Sure. I'll be right back. I'm deep sorry.
Okay.
It's kind of fucked.
Yeah.
That's why you should go first, Private Sig Ashburn.
Yeah, I'm not in the Marines anymore, but yeah, I agree.
Since you are well equipped.
He will just walk to the front, scanning for things to shoot or strangle.
I will stay back.
Who else has weapons? What weapon?
I have a boarding axe and a
Nice.
an explosive charge.
Jesus Christ.
I got the explosive charge with my loadout, and I was like,
Mhm.
okay, I want something other than this explosive.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where I got the boarding axe.
Makes sense.
I have a foam gun.
Ooh. What does that do?
Oh, nice.
So when I shoot somebody, it's like a security. It's like a non-lethal. They get covered in sticky foam.
Yeah.
Oh.
Does the
Like-
foam like harden?
Yeah, and it's a strength check to try to dislodge yourself from it.
Can you shoot it on a wall and it harden and somebody be able to stand on it?
Ooh, that is a good question. I don't maybe because it does solidify, so it might give you some purchase on a smooth wall if you needed to climb it. So yeah, I would say that makes sense. That might come in handy.
I played enough Prey.
Hey
I
Doc,
have
you got any guns?
no. I have my trusty flamethrower and a scalpel.
Fucking flamethrower?
Yes, sir.
Fuck.
Hayden's like, can you go ahead of me?
I believe Dr. Burton should go first.
I feel I must mention that if the fuel tank were to be punctured, it could be a real risk. Please do not shoot near me.
Yeah,
I
stay in
suggest
the back.
everybody.
Don't use your flamethrower.
Well, if something comes up from behind us, use the flamethrower. But actually, how much fuel do you have?
Let's see. What did it say? It doesn't really say. Oh, it says max shots 4, so I guess I can disperse flame 4 times.
Okay.
So each use is a quarter of my fuel.
Okay. Well, there
What
goes
type of
that
fuel?
idea. We may be able to find more of that fuel and other
Oh yeah,
stuff. I was thinking,
shipped.
yeah, I was thinking that flamethrower could be useful to clear the growth if it's on walls and stuff.
Oh,
Absolutely. That is clever thinking.
That's not gonna blow up the station, right?
It depends on where I use it, and so no, I do not intend to use it in a way that will blow up the station.
I shall calculate the mathematical probability of a space station incinerated by a flamethrower.
It's
Stand
likely
by.
my gun would go right through the side, right through the
Yeah.
bulkhead,
Ooh.
if I actually shoot it.
Depending on how thick. Yeah. Ooh.
I don't know.
We'll see.
We'll see. We'll find out the hard way.
Exactly.
Oh, they have a
So
different.
sorry about that, guys. Nature calls, it
You're
calls.
fine. Yep.
um,
Are you
I also
refreshed?
wanted to mention I do have a tool set. I am not particularly skilled with it, but I do have it if it should come in handy.
Okay.
okay.
Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Sig Ashburn, man of action, man of few words.
Yeah.
Hmm.
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 He grunts at you nonchalantly. Give me 1 second. I gotta roll some dice for you guys. So, Sig, you have fancy armor.
Mm-hmm.
And you have a has suit. Frost, you have nothing. Burton,
Just
you
my
have a
beautiful
has suit.
skin.
Yes, I do.
My synthetic exoskin is quite durable.
Do you actually have armor built in?
No, I just
I don't think so.
that Frost is a synthetic android, so
Mhm.
his skin is kind of like an exoskin, so it can withstand the no atmosphere and
Okay.
temperatures. Not quite immune, but I can
Mhm.
withstand. That's what we kind of figured out yesterday.
Nice.
So.
Okay, I have to roll one more thing, and then we're good. Only you sense it, Doctor, but as you step into the station, you get the distinct sensation of like itching in your lungs. But then it goes away. It's just like
Hmm.
whether or not you mention that to anybody else around you, that's up to you.
Oh, I'm sure it was nothing.
But for the rest of you, yeah, you make it in front of you. There's this conveyor belt. It's clearly meant to hold a bunch of large equipment and bags and other, detritus of people moving in and out of the station. And you guys can make your way in. It is eerily quiet, and there is nobody around here.
Are the
Would
little squares between the big rectangles doors?
ooh,
These right here, these things, or
Yeah.
these,
No, the first ones.
these. If you long press, it'll.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, these things.
Oh, those things. Yes, those are doors. And same thing for right
Yeah.
in front of you. These are your
Yeah, okay. So
airlock
you said
doors.
conveyor belt. I'm like, how do they get from this room to the next room then?
Well, this is So this is like, think of it, just like if you're checking in at the airport, right?
Yeah.
They're gonna have a thing where they have a conveyor belt and it pushes it back into their system.
Yep.
Kind of same thing. This is where.
but this is to help with like loading.
Yeah, unloading, loading
Okay.
and unloading.
I
Light zone is for
would
unload.
like to start by ducking, or no, not ducking, but I want to basically immediately start looking for any signs of crystals, fungus, or floral looking stuff. Any visual,
Is there
basically.
anybody in here?
No. The conveyor belt, you could, if you wanted to, there's like flaps, but you could crawl down it. You have a map. So you guys know the names of these locations. Number 1 is arrivals and departures. Number 2 is processing, where they process they scan stuff, documents, and things like that for security purposes. So number 2 room that you see here is where they do those things. Station dock, et cetera, et cetera.
And you said it's real quiet, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Are there windows in the doors?
No, they are like air hatches. They're secure air. Like in my head, I think of something like a submarine ship, something
Yeah.
akin to that, but spacey.
Space doors. Yep.
Space doors, exactly. You get it.
Just add space to them, to whatever it is.
It becomes futuristic when you say
Yeah,
space.
it's sci-fi.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'll
Space cassette player.
walk over to the door and just look at it to see if it's. Does it seem fully functional, as far as I can tell?
Yes.
Yeah.
No, you can just easily open the door if you so desire. You're gonna enter this zone.
No.
Okay.
I'm gonna look back to everybody. Like, so we headed through here.
Yeah, I think that's the way we should go.
Have I seen anything? I assume I haven't seen anything yet, right?
Mm-mm.
Okay. Yeah, let's get moving, but please don't touch anything. I can't stress that enough.
Frost is going to look at the walls, the decking, to see if he can find any of that fungus and or other blood or tissue.
In this
Signs of a
room,
struggle. Yeah. As when he docked and he opened up and everybody's doing their thing, Frost stays back and he observes. And he's looking at the walls, the floor, any equipment. Is there any like desks or anything else, any objects in the room? He's going to try to examine as thoroughly as possible in the time given.
I mean, what like when you mean when thoroughly examine? Are you walking up the conveyor belt? Are you like? Are you?
Well, whatever
you
like, on the floor here, walls, any like you said, detritus laying around. He's going to look for blood, the fungus, or anything unusual, signs of a struggle. Because this is odd. This should not be. Something happened, so he's trying to figure out if he can
There is
basically see
no
what.
direct signs of struggle in this room. In this
Okay.
room, no.
And as he progresses too, when he comes in with him. So okay. Thank you, Michael.
I'll open the door and head through, scanning left and right in a military fashion. The big giant gun. I should probably not shoot in here.
So it's dark. Like maintenance hasn't been around to turn on the lights, and you do see as you kind of scan around. Do you have like a flashlight or anything? I'm just gonna say you have
I have
some
a
kind of
headlamp.
basic headlight. Perfect.
I think we all do.
Right
Awesome.
onto my suit.
And I think Frost's eyes sometimes
I-
glow.
Yes,
I do
they
not.
do.
You do if you have the hazard suit. It's on there.
Oh, I did miss. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, depending on the lighting, my eyes will give off this glow. Like if it's this emergency lighting, they're kind of faint. Please
Kind of as you breach the door, Sig, as you come through, you see a kind of glowing, flashing red light strobing from kind of a half-opened door here. Directly in front of you in what you have marked as a storage area. The door is closed and you can't see in. Towards room 8. Is also closed. And you can't really quite tell down the hole. end of the habitation room. If those are open, doors 2 and 3 are also. Well, door 2 is semi ajar and 3 is open.
Okay. We have some light coming from the power generator room. There's something else I was going to say.
And you all look beautiful today.
And I don't see any crystal mushrooms.
Good sign so far.
Excuse me.
I'm going to take up a security station right there.
You're gonna look into the security station?
Oh no, I'm going to stand like
prop?
I'm covering the hallway while the brainy people can come in.
As you scan around and you look towards this ajar door for 2, you see let me read it directly. Sitting in the what looked to be the station, the X-ray station or whatever they examine the cargo with, is a corpse slumped over. And from your angle, you can tell that it was shot from behind.
We got a body.
I come closer to take a look.
Frost will follow the doctor.
And that's what's holding the door open? The body?
It was just ajar. The body itself is leaned up against a chair inside, or like slumped over in a chair. Shot from behind. Over in a chair like this in the room.
Okay.
The door was already ajar. One may postulate that someone opened the door, shot him in the back of the head, and then walked off.
Irresponsible.
I gotcha.
Yeah, they probably didn't even turn off the lights when they were done either.
In my head, ship doors just whoosh open or shut. But that makes sense. That makes sense. Somebody, okay.
Oh,
That's
for me,
terrible.
it's more like a sub, like, hatch than a...
That makes total sense. I'm just Star Trek blinders. Okay, so I'm gonna come into the room. Can I see anything about the wound? Like, is there anything strange about it, or is it?
How do you go about investigating the body? Like, what do you have equipment? Are you?
No. Unfortunately, my best tools are actually at home. I don't expect to have to figure out diseases out here. I expect to patch wounds. But so he's in a chair. Basically what I'm going to try and do is come close using my headlamp to get as good a light as I can without touching it or, without actually coming in contact with the body.
Dr. Burton, I am possessed of a sample collection. I have various implements that may assist you.
Fantastic.
I will come closer to and inspect the body. Please do not hesitate to utilize what I have.
Jane, are you going to go close to inspect the body?
Wait, we said this was.
Back.
Jane's like,
We said it was shot in
Goram,
the back of the
no.
head.
Sig, Jane, how do you guys feel about Dr. Burton just kind of casually walking up to the corpse and examining it along with briskly?
Not excited.
Not
She must know what she's
excited.
doing. Sig thinks she knows what she's doing. She's a doctor, so that's what she does.
What a medic does.
Yep.
Patches us boys up. Sends us back out to fight.
Yep.
To Justice League.
Jane, give me a sanity check. If this is messing with your head, like this is what I signed up for. I'm supposed to be dead bodies here.
He's gonna start saying "Game over, man." I know.
Game over, man. Oh my gosh, Jane.
Oh,
Do
Jane,
you
how
die
to?
from too much stress?
No, no. What's gonna happen
Not
is when you
directly.
yes, for stress. You're no. I believe
um.
Jane Cobb stress.
How does
I can
like
smell her
what
sweat.
does that reaction look like for Jane? Like, oh, what are you fucking doing, Dr. Burton? What you know? It's not why we're
No,
here.
he's not vocalizing it. He's just starting to get the looking
The
around, waiting for something to
heebie-jeebies.
come out. Um, he is seriously waiting for that body to jump up and attack her at this point.
He is the audience.
Yeah.
Yes, he is the audience. Yeah. That's great.
As you lean down and examine the body, Dr. Burton and Frost, um, you see what looked to be, from your experience, the very beginnings of what seemed to be those tendrils that you, or at least Jane, I guess, described. Because you guys haven't yet seen it, have
Frost
you?
probably did. Frost was there talking to me. He would have heard it hit. I would
Hmm.
have seen it as he turned around and saw it as I pulled away.
Hmm. Right.
Is
That's
the way
correct.
I would see that. I don't see him not turning around and looking at it. So he would have at least seen it
Yeah.
as well.
Yep.
Frost, you see here? Get a sample from this.
Yes, I will do so.
You
My
touch it,
sample kit.
robot.
What's that? Did you
You
touch
touch it, robot.
My sample kit can take vital signs, DNA samples, and collect other data on foreign material. Results may not be instantaneous and may require a lab for complete analysis.
Analyze everything you can.
I shall
Don't start
document it.
analyzing it yet, though.
No, time is
Keep
of
it
the essence. I
sealed.
understand. Jane Cobb, you are under distress. I can smell your sweat.
Gross.
You just see Jane kind of lift his arm up, like
That's definitely a
Sounds
Jane
about
Cobb.
right.
right.
That's awesome.
But yeah,
Hey,
sorry, go ahead, Sig.
should we turn the lights on in here?
I believe we should go
All
to
right.
maintenance
Can we?
shed.
5. We wanna, like as you say that, I'll start. I know this is where the power is, so I'll start making my way over this way.
Okay.
Is the light in that room still flashing, or that went away?
It's still
Ooh,
flashing.
yeah.
Okay.
Um, I'll is the door open?
Yeah, it's slightly ajar, just like the one to the.
Okay. He's gonna use the
Excuse me.
axe to actually open it.
Okay.
So he's using the axe. He's trying like he's making sure he's not stepping on anything. We haven't seen any like growth on the walls, right? Or on the floors. Like tendrils or anything like that.
No, sir.
Okay.
Not yet. I mean, no.
We have not come across that at this time. Yep.
Yes, that's a good phrase.
So all
Don't
right, so
worry, it's all airborne.
he's looking for it though, because at this point he just wants off the ship. So he's gonna go in and he's gonna work on getting the lights and at least like life systems and life support and power and lights back.
Perfect.
And the
Um,
filters.
And the filters. So I'm gonna.
that's the life
Yeah.
life support.
I like how Sig lets everybody go. He's like, yeah, I gotta go to the room.
Oh
I'll
no,
just stand by here.
Sig is standing right here, equidistant between the two groups, watching everything
Oh.
going on in the hallway.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I like that.
Overwatch.
Yep.
Ah, gotcha.
He's security. He's always on Overwatch.
Ah, this is true. Point
Dr.
taken.
Burton, you're looking at me like you have something to add to this repartee.
Yeah, I wanted to know if I could tell the time of death or at least an approximation.
You would gather that this corpse has been here over a week.
Hmm. Is it well preserved? Normal preserved? What I'd
Normal
expect.
preserved for dry atmosphere, relatively sanitized atmosphere, like low
Okay.
bacterial load in the at least that you're familiar with.
Frost is gonna. He has gloves on, sample gloves. He's going to look in the deceased's clothing, pockets, zippers, compartments,
Okay.
to see if this can identify this corpse.
You are not able to immediately. Everything is all serial number on their badges. As something with do with the kind of nature of the work they do. Actually, like on their uniforms are only serial numbers. And so you don't directly know their names. Is there something you're trying to learn about this person in particular?
Well, if he's a maintenance, security, judging by his uniform,
Yeah. Oh no.
does he
By
have
his
any
uniform, you could definitely
personal
tell
effect?
he's security. Like he had like a security type badge going on. Um,
Hmm.
and as you kind of
Does he
poke
have,
around the room, you'll notice that there's logs here for cargo going in and out, personnel going in and out, all serial numbers, um,
I will transcribe as
and
much
dates.
information as I can from the logs. Are they computer? Or are they tablets functioning? Or are they handwritten?
We'll just
How
say
is
they're
that?
tablets.
Okay.
Um,
Does he have a
and
security card? Like a ID, like you know how you have, oh, let me
you
swipe
guys
my
have
card.
security cards. Your contact was actually able to hook you up.
Oh, we have it. Okay.
Yeah, we
Okay.
have access codes.
That's right. I'm sorry. Okay.
So you guys are actually able to kind of wander around as you see fit. So, Frost, while you're rummaging around, the one thing that really stands out to you is that nothing has been processed in the past 2 weeks.
That is odd.
And so while this is happening, you hear in the background the like clang and of Jane in the background opening up uh,
Mm-hmm.
the power station, the power room. Jane, what you find in there is a kind of blaring maintenance red light going off. Um, just kind of painting the room, bathing it in this flashing red light. Um, Everything, as far as you can tell, is running just fine. Over here, there's some main circuits that people have turned off for lighting, and otherwise, everything seems to be running as normal. It's just it's woefully has is crying about its regular maintenance. Is what the big red light is all about. It hasn't been gone through its normal maintenance cycle in a couple weeks.
So it looks like they intentionally turned the lights off. What about life support?
Life support is working just fine. It is cold. The building is relatively cold, but the air and life support seems to be working as intended.
I will I will make my way back out without doing anything.
Okay.
Um to discuss with them and let them know that the lights were intentionally turned off
Mm.
and the temperature I'm assuming I could see like the thermostat per se for the station and they intentionally dropped the temperature down.
Interesting.
Is it that was a question for the warden.
Say that again. Sorry, I was reading something.
Um Did it look like I'm assuming I could see the thermostat type control, and they intentionally dropped the temperature in the station,
Um,
or no, or am I not able to tell that?
no, yeah, no, something has definitely or someone has definitely turned this down to pretty low to your your high 40s, low 50s um on the register on the dial. Why would it be a dial?
Yep, yep,
Um
right.
why wouldn't they just
It's just the
punch in
thing
a
on the
number?
side of the wall that they just
Yeah.
turn it. Yeah,
Yeah. Just like every other radiator and every other home.
yeah.
Stupid
um,
baseboard heating on the spaceship.
who thought this was a good idea?
It's a space radiator.
So
You get
I
it? It's a
will.
space. Yeah, they turned down the space radiator, and yeah, it's very cold in the station. Um, but
I will let them know.
uh,
Um,
Interesting. This might have been a response to the outbreak.
that was kind of my wonder. My question was: it either the does this thing take over in people and try to get them to do things for them, and that it wants it cold and dark, or did they do it because it thrived in the heat and light?
That certainly is the question, isn't it?
Yeah,
Wait, the crystal mushrooms make people do things?
we don't know.
Oh shit! All
That
right.
is,
Hmm.
I mean, Jane's mind's kind of going off on the conspiracy theory there,
Conspiracy.
and uh,
Well, there's one way to find out if we raise the temperature.
that is true.
Maybe we just look around first.
That is also
That
wise.
is an option. Do we want to turn the lights on? Turning the lights on lets anything that is here, good or bad, know
Def-
we're here.
definitely know you're here.
Mhm.
We have headlamps, so I think it's best to keep them out for now.
I have excellent
Okay.
vision.
I'm
Jane's
sure
gonna
you do.
shut the door and lock it using our security codes
Perfect.
so that
Well,
we can unlock it. Like
I don't see labs on the key. I feel like there are labs though,
habitation,
because
maybe.
I do
Well,
remember there being something that
it,
said to go to the what? Sorry.
no, you're fine. You were provided. There are kind of three major locations here. There are, and by the way, I need to retract something I said. That there isn't quarter gravity. There is no gravity here.
Oh, no gravity. Okay.
Um, because of the way it describes some things floating later in this particular location. Um, anyway, there is this station. This is the space kind of let me read it.
This is
Does a much better
the
job describing it.
civilian hub.
orbital relay station.
Yeah, it's the orbital relay station. It manages all the incoming and outgoing supplies and staff, and provides access to the planet via automated drop shuttle, moving
Okay.
between the station, and Japlin's Ake, which is the surface station that sits on top of the ice shelf. And then it actually has an elevator that goes all the way down to Choi Station.
Okay. Yes, that's where I'm going. Let's go there.
You need to go to Choi Station. Then yeah, then you guys want to go to the section 3 ultimately, which is the automated shuttle between Joplin's Aiken here at Delang Station.
Okay. Right. That's where we're supposed to go anyway, and that's probably where we'd find any potential samples that we may be able to bring back.
Yeah, but
True.
what about the people, Doc?
Yeah.
Don't touch anything, and as long as we're careful, we should be fine.
Yeah, but where are the
Um.
people?
Right? Um. I
Sig
want to go
Ashburn
check
does
out
have a point,
habitation.
Doctor.
I want to go over here.
I was going to take a quick look at number 3 if there's anybody walking around or dead. We should split up. We could cover a lot of ground that way.
Sig, as you
Sig
open
Ashburn has a point.
the hatch to the what do they call it? The station dock. You see that there is a corpse floating here.
Got another body. Doc?
It is clearly the corpse of a security guard, fully equipped, and shot in the face from the front.
Does he have his weapon?
Yes, he has say like a pistol or something, some security guard type.
I don't think you will want that.
Right? I think one of us should take it.
No.
I don't think we should touch it. It's got crystal. What has it got? Crystal mushrooms on it.
Does the gun have the crystal
I will
stuff on
say
it?
it is a trank pistol.
I believe, and this is just my opinion, Jane, but I believe that an abundance of caution is exactly the right amount of caution.
Have we seen any of the crystals in the station?
No.
The
Not yet.
corpses are just bulleted death, right?
Delaying
No, they
station?
have.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I mean, we haven't seen any crystals inside, right?
We've seen them in the at the gun shot.
Oh,
yeah,
they
there
were?
was some.
That's what
There
Frost
was
took a
starting.
sample of.
Okay,
Body
that-
1 had it.
Yeah. Then okay. Okay.
And I'd like to check body 2
Also, it's worth
from a
noting
distance again.
that it was an umbilical, a hosed umbilical that went between the corpse that terrified Jane and the station itself. It was tethered by that.
Yeah.
And they are definitely infected, and they ostensibly would have been on this station at one point. You're gonna continue to explore, Sig?
No, I'm just gonna wait to see if the doc gets attacked, and then I'll shoot it. And then I'm keeping an eye on Jane as he goes towards the habitation area.
I will examine the second body and take specimens, Dr. Burton.
Perfect.
Excuse me, Sig Ashburn.
Careful.
Yes, indeed.
Do I
shall
have
be
the
careful.
labs that we'll need?
You guys are just kind of wafting around in this hallway. 0G.
Yeah.
Do we have mag boots? I guess it doesn't say we do, but
I'm gonna go with no.
Okay.
Perhaps we should go to Habitation and change the crystal gravity.
So, Jane, are you entering Hab?
I was waiting for them to finish and be heading out to start moving. It sounded like they wanted to get samples and stuff, so I'd wait until they had gotten their samples and then start going through.
Okay. You're just kind of systematically going door to door? Is that what I'm hearing? Or
Well, I want to check out Habitation first. I would like to take a look at the storage rooms.
Okay, awesome.
But I could be convinced not to.
I'm not trying to talk
communications though. No, by the group, not you.
Okay.
By the group. And I would suggest we probably should take a look at communications. See if we can talk to the ground.
Good thinking.
But yeah, first I wanted to take a look at Habitation and see if there were people or stuff in there.
So is this body similar to the body 1 in terms of decay?
Yes, Frost. If you go in and do a cursory look for basically the same kind of characteristics from the body in security, you will see a similar kind of slow growth infection pattern at the wound site.
So Frost will document, or that he has to document.
Did it look
Yeah.
developed the same as the other or further along? Or less? She's asking for Ast because, you
But are you passively asking me?
I mean, I guess ultimately because you would know, but.
Passive aggressively.
Yeah. About the same progression as the previous is this body insecurity. So, Jane, as you crack open the door to Habitation, you see just basically a dozen or so bunks, and they're just like there's stuff floating around, magazines, um, personal items. There's kind of floating around, and as you're kind of bumping through the room, you come across, and you guys left the lights off, correct?
Yeah.
Mhm.
A body. You bump into a body, kind of just floating there. As it floats by, you notice
Like,
that
kind of just
it was shot in the
it
head.
brushes into my head,
Yeah.
and you just hear Jane like kind of let out a little bit of a low squeak and back up real quick, and then swing the axe.
At the corpse?
Yeah, he doesn't know what it is. He's swinging.
Okay.
He's in the dark, and he's terrified. He's the only one in the room. Yeah, he's swinging.
Absolutely. So go ahead and take a stress. Just don't even roll for it. Just take a stress. If that is your reaction,
Cool
that's a
save.
stress. And Sig, you hear this yeah, exactly. You hear this
Yep.
cacophony of this kind of bang. And in the 0G, as you swing around in kind of a knee-jerk reaction, your whole body gets kind of contorted, and you're like, as you threw your weight with the axe, like your legs lose any kind of purchase that they never had,
Yep.
and you got to kind of go topsy turvy, and you the axe hits into like the canvas uniform, well, not canvas, but probably cotton uniform of the corpsicle. Well, it's not, I guess, icy, but the corpse. You just kind of go tumbling all over the room, and and it's just like with your headlamp on and everything. It's like this like terrible disco where you're in my head, you're holding on to the axe as you're kind of spinning around in this discordant
Yeah.
dance in the middle of all these bunks, and they're just crap flying around, pens and so Sig, that's what you happen upon.
Can I grab him and stop him?
Sure, give me a strength check.
Get to roll. How do I do this? Character sheets.
I think you just click strength. So you're looking for anything under
I have the
34?
athletics skill. Does that do anything?
Sure. I will
Uh,
consider that a skill bonus of +10. Dude, perfect. Yeah,
Alright.
no, you're able to clunk clunk. And you grab Jane kind of by the ankle as he's flying around, and you just kind of slam his ankle down to the ground. Not his ankle, his foot down to the ground, and settle him. And you're able to just recontort him so that he's upright, and now he has like this axe and a corpse on the other end of it. And he's now settled between the bunks, so you're able to bring him back into uh control, I guess is the word I'm looking for.
So the axe is in the corpse?
Yeah, it's like shlunk. In my head, it just kind of sunk in and stayed there. Maybe that's.
Jane, how much do you like your axe? This is kind of fucked up. How
I
are you
like
going to
it.
deal with this?
He'll just take the axe and like use the wall and kind of get it out. Use like drag the corpse across it and pull the axe out. Yeah, he's not touching. He's not touching the body.
What? It's not like you can feel it.
Right?
Okay.
I'm going to keep my gun pointed at the corpse just in case it floats towards me. I can nudge it back. Do I see any crystals? Because I know that they keep looking at crystals. So do I see any crystals on this one? I'm not sure I know where to look, but
Well, if you had been watching Frost, while he examined the other one, you would have seen that he kind of looked and he was looking for these kind of tendrils. But how does Sig do the examination? Like, you have a hazard suit, right?
I have a battle dress,
Oh, right, your battle dress.
advanced battle dress. And he would do it by looking at it with his eyes. So I don't know if that'll really get me very far, but
I'd say you'd probably be able to point it out, especially if Frost had kind of, know, maybe not directly told you, but you heard them all talking about these little tendrils and the little things. I mean, I think you'd pick up on it. How's that?
yeah,
You're
so
not
they're on there.
you're not dumb, but you just never had that.
He's a little dumb.
Oh, okay. He's a little
his
dumb.
intelligence is below average.
Fair enough. So maybe you're just a little dumb, but
yeah. I mean, it's either I'm looking for weird stuff or not weird stuff.
Fair enough. You see
I'll
some
radio,
weird blackness. Yes.
Yeah, I'll radio back to the smart ones. There's another body here. It's got shit on it.
Click, click.
And I'm actually going to go back in the hallway because it doesn't seem like there's any problems in there. See if I need to shoot something out. Then I'll be done.
What's going on over there?
Jane went fishing, and there's another corpse with, I think, the mushrooms.
Fishing?
Yeah.
Yeah. I just had to put him out of his misery, and yeah, he's here.
He was alive.
And we just walk out, and James just kind of keeps going as she says he was alive.
I'm gonna nod. I can't shake my head in a big suit. Like, nah, he was dead. Jane's a little fucking weird right now.
Jane's a little twitchy.
Yeah. He needs a drink.
That might help.
Do you have any drinks to drink? It can help with your stress.
That was not in any loadout I saw, was it?
No, I don't think so.
But Jane does have 2 joints.
Is that in the loadout?
I believe it.
They were cigarettes. I made him joints because
why not?
I don't smoke cigarettes, so.
But I smoke a whole lot
but
of
it said
weed.
Cigarettes. I didn't know, right?
Funny.
I didn't know how many I would actually have.
A couple joints, that works. I think a couple joints is good.
I just figured 2.
You smoked the other 18 on the ride out here.
Right? Yeah, it took over 3 weeks.
You bought a pack before you left, and now, because it's all commercialized now, they basically come in the same packs as cigarettes. So yeah, you got Class A joints. Got the tax stamp on the bottom and everything, and you got 2 left. In my head, it's a soft pack. So
yeah, worse.
There you go. I like it.
How do you react to Jane freaking out, Dr. Burton and Frost?
I am still unclear on whether somebody was alive.
Nope.
Yeah, Jane's probably sitting like over here, just trying to relax, like almost trying to meditate.
Dr. Burton moves away
Uh,
towards communications. Coincidentally, that's just.
Brian, have you been talking?
Frost, are you there? Are you muted?
Holy shit, I'm muted.
Oh no!
I just
Oh,
run it down.
man.
I had Shakespearean dialogue going on.
It was
That
it was
was
a
like
really
that.
long time too.
Lawrence
I'm so
Olivier would have
sorry.
been proud to utter my words. No, I was just doing my stupid shtick. I was just saying, Jane Cobb seems to be under a lot of stress. I will endeavor to move away from him and collect samples from number 3. Oh, Dr. Burton, the corpse is indeed a corpse. It is not a...
And has been for some time.
It is in. Is it the same state as the others?
Same level of rigor mortis.
So I will collect again. You know, it's good to have more empirical data. So I will
Oh,
collect more.
absolutely.
Anything else in the habitat? Frost will just look around.
Nothing of a particular interest. It's more, suit, clothing, corporate uniform suit things, jumpsuits is the term I'm looking for. Nothing of particular interest. No.
Okay.
Just the corpse.
It's just a corpse in a room. Nothing to see here. Please move on. If I might make a suggestion, perhaps we should return this station to normal gravity. Is that not wise?
Yeah, might as well
it
turn
would
the
probably
lights
be
on too. Right?
The implication is that the station just does not have gravity. It is not.
Oh, okay.
It is
Okay.
just.
Oh, it's never had gravity.
Oh, never had gravity. Okay.
That's
It's
my
a
bad.
cheap
I'm sorry.
station.
Exactly.
yeah,
You won't
it's
pay
a
for it.
it's a waypoint between.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Exactly.
Oh, so people don't stay here really long term.
Yeah. Yeah. So just okay. Please disregard my last transmission. It was faulty.
I'm
I
tagging
understand.
along with the doc now.
Extrapolated with bad data.
Please forgive.
What happened back there?
What happened back there?
She's asking
Sig?
Sig specifically, kind of
Oh,
quietly.
yeah.
What was in there?
Jane attacked the corpse, and his axe got stuck, and then he started spinning around.
How does that make you feel, Dr. Burton?
It's kind of fucking footing.
That will
As soon
freak
as
her out.
as soon as Jane hears Sig start to tell her, he'll just start cracking up.
That will
That's-
freak her out more.
That's not helpful. Well, I think that would be a sanity check
But
Not just
for Dr.
fear?
Burton. What's that?
Not just
Okay.
fear? Not just freaking? Oh, I mean, I'm happy to
I
roll
can
my
pick
bigger
fear
number.
if you want to.
No, I'm not gonna, I just
I say it
thought
like that
sanity is like
because
rationalizing weird things, but I mean, this is that in a way. And that's a number that I wouldn't have won with anything but this, so that's great.
I was gonna say.
Thank you, Michael.
I mean, if you want to roll up here, yeah, no, you're like, oh, I guess boys will be boys. No, her
Keep
sanity
an
is
eye on it.
crazy. She's able to rationalize the irrational pretty rationally.
Mine's 17.
Yeah.
I don't want to roll it. I do want to roll it.
No, I'm
I
letting you
would
be
rather
more calm and
fear.
cool. Maybe I should play a little rougher on you guys, but I'm still getting used to it.
Is it possible to lower your stress?
Yes.
Sex.
Sex, drugs, and rock and roll.
Comfort.
Yeah, comforts.
That is
Leisure.
literally it. Isn't sex one of the ones on there too?
It
It
is.
is. Are
I
you
am
guys?
not.
Sorry, go on, Frost.
I am not that type of android. I'm more of a support android, but not a pleasure android. Just for
I am not
reference.
a
Thank you.
pleasure and
TMI robot.
TMI robot. So if
That is
you
it.
what rooms interest you? I mean, you have a key. Are you going to a specific
Oh, I was headed for communications because I think no, Jane made the suggestion that regaining communication or getting communication with some kind of ground
Yeah.
with the ground station would be nice.
Alright. Yeah, at least to check it. They may have a hard line to the ground versus our attempts to communicate with this station. So
Okay, Dr. Burton, are you going into room 8?
Dr. Burton does not wish to enter any room first, if possible. So she is kind of walking towards it, or floating
Say,
along the wall towards it.
Hold up, Doc.
oh no.
I got this. Sigil,
Cute.
go in.
As you crack open the hatch, you notice that there's a corpse slumped against the wall, shot. This is the maintenance room. You notice that there are 3 vac suits, or at least there's stations for 3 vac suits. There are 2 currently there, and 1 is currently checked out. And you can see on the maintenance on the wall here in this airlock door that it is currently in maintenance mode, meaning somebody is outside, presumably doing maintenance.
and that would be the guy that's
I don't
umbilical
think so.
to the ship,
Yeah.
the station.
Jane, you want to come kill another corpse? He's gonna. Sigil walk in.
That's the best line. Come kill another corpse.
It was dark, and it brushed up against me. I thought it was trying to eat me.
Yeah.
That axe is not coming back with us.
Jane kind of moves it towards Dr. Burton.
Dr. Burton will
Is there anything
probably
on the axe?
I mean,
Is
corpse stuff.
yeah, like, but does it look like there's any like of the tendrils or
Not at
any
first
of that
blush,
kind of?
no.
Okay.
Are you gonna look at
No.
it really closely and examine it or anything?
If you'd like, I could take samples
I'm
from
not
your
trying
axe.
to imply anything. I'm just asking.
Actually, he probably would have Frost take like a sample, but also looking to see if he see if stuff starts growing, he'd be keeping an eye on the stuff on it to see if stuff is growing on it.
Frost will
Nah.
examine the axe and see if there's any with his equipment.
Your equipment would, now being familiar with 3 different samples, come back with a. It would say low, something to the effect of low viral load, but not 0. I don't know how you would necessarily. I don't know if you would fully relay that or to.
Oh yeah, I would. Frost would just say, he would just come out and say, James Cobb's axe is contaminated, but is a low viral load.
I
At
didn't know
that
if you.
point, Jane would see if he can do is like scan the bottom of his. Because I'm curious if we are tracking it around.
Sure. Please hold your boot steady, Jane Cobb, so I may take an accurate sample.
Did you
Brace
get it on your
yourself
boot? Did you smear it? I may have missed
No,
something.
no, no. We've been walking around the station, and
Oh.
he's curious if we just can't see. Like, if there's spores and stuff, it'd be on the floor and everything.
Yeah. Jane is in full conspiracy mode.
Yeah.
So, Frost will indulge.
If you do
He's-
examine the general atmosphere, you will, in relation to your previous samplings, will notice that there is a correlation. Yes, there is definitely a contaminant in the air of the station.
And I'll relay that to everybody.
Fuck.
For all intents and purposes, you are contaminated. We are contaminated. I just do not
Yeah.
know the contamination process for humans, what it will render you, in what time frame.
Well, it's a good thing that the resupply ship has an airlock. We are not contaminated within. The air is contaminated, and I, for one, am not breathing this air.
At that very moment, Dr. Burton, you feel
Processing.
suppressible urge to cough as there is a slight itching in your throat. And for a second, you kind of lose your breath. And the itching sensation in your lungs comes back. Stays a little longer this time.
Are you unwell, Dr. Burton?
No,
Doc.
I do think we should probably get to the labs, though.
I'm going to open the door to the communications room. Just to check.
While he's doing that, I'm gonna go back to the the power generator. And I'm gonna turn the lights on.
Okay. As you have this kind of epiphany that the air is contaminated, you see that the kind of the maintenance log shows that the person outside in maintenance is breathing through the umbilical station air. Basically, station air has been cycled through their suit while they were, doing maintenance.
Is it currently actively being cycled?
Oh yeah, because the station thinks they're doing maintenance and have been for some time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No, 100%. As you crack open the
Go ahead.
As you crack open the door to the communications room, it is very claustrophobic, and there are just communication panels and all kinds of hardware blinking and going off.
Yeah, okay. Robot. There's things, there's lights, buttons. And I'll just stand in
the only thing you recognize is the spilled coffee thermos that seems to have shorted out some of the equipment that you don't know what does.
Well, you should never set a drink on a computer. I know that. Having dropped drinks on computers for a while.
I will inspect the computer array. Please step aside, Sig Ashburn.
So you immediately log in and realize that this is the exact communications place that you hacked into, and you go through the electronic logs. Once again, 10 days ago, 14 days ago, there was a communication to Choi Labs regarding a mole. 10 days ago, there was a mention of an outbreak. And then no other communications after that.
Okay, this is redundant.
They collect these messages, these logs, because they adhere to a strict minimal communication protocol, and they really only send out these like message dumps and data dumps every month or so.
Well, based upon these logs, in which I've stated before, and to relay this to you in your parlance, Sig Ashburn, we are in the shit.
Yeah, fuck.
You can't establish a connection directly from there?
I will try. Please stand by. And I will try to see if I can contact surface base. Jappels.
Sorry, say that your chapels. What?
Jappels, whatever the place is on the surface of the planet.
Oh, Japlins,
Japlins, thank you. Japlins.
like Janice. You guys are trying to get to Japlin Station, or Japlin's Ake is what it's called.
Yeah, see if there's any activity down on the planet.
You can't. You try to hail, and just like your maintenance ship, you get no reply from the surface station. Chaplin Inc., the surface station.
I
Dead
would relay
air.
that too.
You relay multiple times, attempt to relay multiple times, and get nothing back.
There is no communication with the station on the surface. That is odd. Perhaps they're experiencing the same type of contamination.
Very likely.
It is unknown.
Yeah. I say we just get back on our ship and go back.
Abscond.
What was that bounty? 800 credits?
800,000
It's 50 if we
credits.
did if it was partial.
I don't think this would be considered partial if we just leave. Maybe we could try. We could ask. You can always ask.
Right?
Always ask. I know I didn't finish the job, but can I still have some money?
I killed a corpse.
I killed a
Hey,
corpse.
I got information. They don't need to know that it was a corpse.
Well, do we think the outbreak was our samples? Because we do technically have samples of that.
That is a good point.
Mm.
We could tell them these are the samples.
Just have to convince them.
I'm sure their interests are perfectly innocuous.
I beg to differ.
You beg to differ?
If we try some subterfuge, we would probably all be terminated.
I don't believe this is subterfuge. I believe that the outbreak was likely linked to the samples. If you recall, there was a mole uncovered directly before the contamination.
Well, then you
I
should
would
do the
have to
job,
agree.
Doctor.
Followed by suspected breach of whatever. What is that? I can't remember the actual language it says. But yeah.
Whether they would accept these samples rather than the original, I can't predict, but
Attempting to smuggle out samples, yeah. And then 10 days ago, an outbreak. Why am I so fuzzy with
as I said, our own filtration systems are taking care of us, so I'm certain that when we get back to our ship and go through our own
Are they?
air.
Weren't
Are
you
you
just
feeling
coughing,
unwell?
Doc?
Yes, but I've had this thing in my throat.
For like the last 20 minutes?
It's been longer, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
Sig Ashburn has
Speaking
a
of
point
30
there.
minutes, you guys actually have been poking around Delaying Station about an hour now total.
Um, have we been on our oxygen supply? I meant to ask this earlier.
So it's all about to run out.
Because our suits only have an hour of oxygen. That's why I wasn't curious, because they have air filtration as well.
Yeah,
So
I
that's
wasn't
why when
sure
she
how long
said
it
that,
had been.
I wasn't sure if there was if that's something you can switch on and off.
Hold on one
Like,
second. Does that also apply to Grace's HVAC suit or whatever?
Oh yeah.
So none of you have been breathing station air for this last hour.
No. Oh, I mean, I guess technically the android if it breathes.
I do not breathe.
I closed off my esophagus.
I have filtration systems embedded.
No lungs for me, bitches.
I don't have an air filter.
That's okay. Your suit is.
You're in a vac.
Stops
Oh,
bullets.
you're in a.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah.
Then you don't feel an itch in your throat, and you.
Oh,
Oh, I don't have oxygen either.
that feels better.
Fair enough. That's actually probably okay. I wouldn't want you to die so early anyway. I'll give you at least 2 sessions before you expire.
Yeah.
You have an hour too, by the way, Doug. It's on page 2 at the bottom.
We
Advanced
are
battle dress. Yeah.
reaching.
Oh yeah. I knew I read an hour. I couldn't figure out why I wasn't seeing it anymore. It was not in the description. It was under there.
Now,
Oxygen.
because it's 10 o'clock, I think it's a good place to stop. You guys have effectively, outside of going to the storage rooms, explored Delang Station. Something about Bloom is that it says it's 4 to 6 hours, so we will probably end up doing 2 to 3 sessions for this.
Yeah.
Before we reach next session, you'll almost definitely, you definitely get to Japlin's Egg because that's your next destination. Whether or not you make it directly into Choi Labs is, up to you guys ultimately. So, but we'll see. But yeah, no, I'm gonna cut it off here. That's cool. This is kind of a good place to fade to black.
Yeah.
In my head, you guys move back down to section 3, and you toss the body aside and board the automated docking ship or the automated lift or whatever they call it. To go down.
I would like to resupply my oxygen first, but yes, I feel you.
From what?
Yeah. Is
I
that
don't know
something
if
we
we
can
can
do?
do that, but I would like to do that.
The only
Can we go?
Go ahead.
Well, I was gonna ask if we could go back to our ship and get potentially
It's a
restock that.
resupply ship.
I allow it. I
Right?
give you
You
both
would-
another hour. Yeah, I allow it. If you guys have tanks, you can go back and get fresh tanks off your ship, off your docking ship, and have another hour for next session. Ford doesn't care one bit. He's like, oxygen is for bitches.
That is correct.
Or
Keeper
Frost,
Michael.
not Ford. I don't know what's that Ford.
Yeah, I know. He's not a car. Ugh.
Not a
Jack
car.
behind the
Yeah, that's
android.
so racist.
So racist. Oh no.
Totally racist.
Very specious to
Do
me.
all machines look the same to you?
Oh, that hurts, Keeper Michael.
More
All
like
right.
Model T.
I should go.
Have a good night
Right.
then.
I really like this game.
I'm
It's
glad
good.
you
This
guys
is-
were
this is fun.
entertained.
I really like
Yeah.
this game.
I had a lot of fun.
I hope you guys did, yeah.
Bobby killing
Yeah.
corpses and spinning around.
Yeah. All right, I gotta go. I'll see y'all later.
Good night,
Yeah.
Doug.
Night,
Take
guys.
care.
Thanks,
Thank you for
everybody.
hanging out.
Thank you.
Good night. Thank you. A lot of
Night,
fun.
guys.
Yeah.
Good night.
I'm gonna stop
Thanks. Good
recording.
night.